back to my channel, and if you're new here then welcome. My name is Maddie, and today I'll be sharing my February TBR. So I'm filming this video on the 24th of January, and for that reason it's still kind of early to make a TBR. But I have to film this because this is one of the only opportunities I have to sit down and film, so I kind of have to do it right now. So if I end up finding more books that I want to put on my TBR in a couple days from now, then I will edit them in to the end of this video, but hopefully I've covered everything and this is all the books that I plan to read in February. But I do have 6 books to mention, so not a lot so far. I'm trying not to overwhelm myself though, because I haven't been reading too much in January, so my reading is really kind of taking a little bit of a downward slope right now, which isn't great. But because of that, I don't want to put too much on my February TBR. So it's a short list, but still got some good books to talk about, I think. So let's just get into it. I want to mention first the books that I put on my January TBR that I didn't end up getting to in January, that I'm just going to convert over into this TBR. So the first one is Dark Lover by J.R. Ward. This is the first in a series that I have read before, but I've been wanting to reread. I've read the first 2 books, but I haven't continued on with this series, so I need to reread the first few books that I did read in order to continue on, because it's been a long time since I've read it, so I need to remember what happened. So I do still really want to read this, just wasn't able to get to it in January, unfortunately, but I still really do. So I'm going to try to this month. I am reading quite a bit of series though, so I'm not sure if I want to get into another series amidst reading other series and in the middle of reading other series, so we'll see about that. But I really do want to pick this series up again because I remember loving the first few books, so hopefully it'll happen. And another one from my January TBR is The Silent Waters by Brittany C. Cherry. This is the 3rd book in her Element series. I really enjoyed the first 2 books, so I want to continue on with this series. It is a companion series, so each book follows its own standalone story. The first 2 books were really good, so I'm hoping to continue on with it this month. I'm actually really going to try to, because I want to finish this series. I feel like I've been reading it for so long, so it needs to happen. Now going into the new books that I have to mention that I'm putting on this TBR. So this one will also be a reread. It's what I'm really excited for. I've been wanting to reread this book for so long because it's one of my favorites, and that is Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover. I think I've only read this book once, which is absurd because of how much I remember loving this book. I read it in 2015, so it's been a really long time since I've read it. For that reason, who knows if I'll love it as much as I did initially, but I have a feeling I will, because this book still years later has really stuck with me, so definitely want to reread it. I'm also rereading it because I am trying to read all of Colleen Hoover's books so that I can do a specific video just talking about Colleen Hoover books, and I need to reread the books that I have read for her in order to refresh my memory on my feelings for these books and what happened in them. So that's why I'm also rereading this one, but I'm really excited too. And it's really awesome. Colleen Hoover is just amazing because she provides signed copies on her website of her books, which is so cool. So I went on her website and got a signed copy of this book because it's my favorite book, one of my favorite books of all time. So I'm like, if it's one of my favorites, I need a signed copy of it. So I did that. So happy about that. I'm also going to try to read another Colleen Hoover book this month, and that is 𝑙𝑙. This one is actually a paranormal, which is unusual for Colleen Hoover because I don't think she's ever written a paranormal book besides this one, not that I can think of. So this will be different from her, but she's proven that she can write any genre, because last month I did read 𝑣𝑒, which is a thriller, and thriller is usually a genre that she doesn't write, and she just nailed it. So I am pretty certain she'll be able to nail paranormal too, so really looking forward to this one. And these next 2 books are part of a series that I am actively reading, which is the Bargainer series. So that is The Emperor of Evening Stars and Dark Harmony. The Bargainer series is a 𝑣𝑒 series, and it's pretty much an urban fantasy. It's really cool. The first book, which is Rhapsodic, I read in January, which as of me uploading this, I have not uploaded my January wrap-up yet, so I'm not going to talk about it much on my feelings for it, but I will let you know I really enjoyed it. And I ended up reading 𝐹𝑟𝑢𝑖𝑡𝑠 and the second book, which is A Strange Hymn, both in January because I really enjoyed it. I wanted to continue reading the series, but I wasn't able to get to the last 2 books, so I'm gonna for sure get to them in February. The Emperor of Evening Stars is actually a novella, and then the last book is a full book. So I'm excited to get to these and finish off this series. It's super good. I'm going to edit this in because I had to switch over to filming on my phone. And my phone kept telling me that my storage was full. So I guess because of that, it didn't record the beginning of this next clip. So I have to insert it here. But basically, in the next clip you're going to see, I moved to my car because my mom ended up coming home. So I didn't want it to be too noisy. So I moved to my car. And to cover what the recording did not catch, I went into picking my random TBR pick for the month. This is something I've been doing for the past few months that I really love doing. And basically how I do it is I go on a number generator, generate a number, and whatever number comes up, I'll apply that number to my want to read shelf on Goodreads, and whatever book that corresponds to is the book that I'll put on my TBR for the month. And I do this because sometimes I forget which books I put on my TBR because I have a lot of books on my Goodreads TBR. And so doing this forces me to remember that that book exists and forces me to read it. And so with that out of the way, let's just switch back to me in my car. Okay, this is actually interesting because the book that came up is a part of a series that I haven't read yet. So I think I'm actually, instead of reading this book because it's a part of a series, I'm just going to read the first book in the series. And I'm actually really excited for this one. So that is Wait For You by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This is a new adult series. I'm pretty sure it's new adult. I think each book is like a standalone, so I think it's a companion series. I've been looking forward to this one because it is Jennifer L. Armentrout and she's one of my favorite authors. And I'm actually surprised I haven't read this series yet. There's actually a lot of books by her that I still haven't read yet that I really want to get to because she's a favorite. I usually always love Jennifer L. Armentrout's books, so I have a good feeling this one is going to be a positive one for me and I'm gonna like it. So I'm really excited for it. I'm excited to finally get to it. So this is editing me again. I'm going to add 2 more books on this TBR because I did end up finding 2 more books I wanted to put on this TBR now that the month is almost over. So the first one is Reminders of Him. So I planned to get to this one in January and it didn't end up happening, and I didn't initially put it on my TBR because there was still a bit of January left. So I was like, I feel like I could still possibly get to this book, but now January is almost over and I just know I'm not going to have time for it. So I'm definitely going to get to it in February. I really wanted to get to it last month because it's Colleen's newest release, so I definitely want to read her new releases when they come out, but that plan fell through. So I'm definitely going to get to it in February and I'm really excited for it because it is Colleen Hoover and I enjoy her books so much, so I hope it'll be a good one. And then I'm going to add 2 more books to my TBR, which are part of a series. So I'll go more into this in my January wrap-up, but I did read 50 Shades of Grey this month, which was an experience. And just to kind of cover my thoughts on here, I actually enjoyed it quite a bit, surprisingly. So I enjoyed it enough to continue on with this series, so I'm gonna do that. But yeah, I'll explain all my thoughts on 50 Shades of Grey in my January wrap-up, but yeah, I quite enjoyed it. And I'm so shocked by that. So hopefully the rest of the books will be just as good. We'll see. I'm looking forward to it. And those are all the books that I will be putting on my February TBR as of right now. Like I said, I don't know if I will have any other books that I want to put on this TBR because I am filming this so early. But obviously, if I do, you would have seen that edit by now. Let me know what books you will be putting on your TBR for this month. And also let me know if you've read any of these books, what you thought of them. I would really love to know. And if you enjoyed the video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more anime-related videos and book-related videos. And you can also follow me on social media if you would like to. Those links are in the description box. I upload every Tuesday and Saturday, and I'll be back really soon. Bye!